Okay, picture this, a factory, but it's the size of a small city. Now imagine one single, tiny, but absolutely critical part goes missing. What happens? Well, it's not just a small problem. It can be a multi-million-dollar disaster that shuts the whole place down. Today, we're diving into how smart factories are finally solving this ancient problem of just losing things.
You know, modern factories are incredible. They are these finely tuned orchestras of machines and people all working together. But behind that curtain of efficiency, there's a kind of hidden chaos. I mean, you've got thousands of people, millions of parts, countless tools all moving around. Stuff is bound to get lost. And when it does, it's not a minor headache. It bleeds time, money, and productivity.
This quote from the source material absolutely nails the problem. It's like that old story, right? The blind men and the elephant. The warehouse team knows their part, the production team knows theirs, but nobody, and I mean nobody, sees the whole animal. This fractured view of what's happening on the factory floor leads to some really serious issues.
So this chaos, it isn't just random bad luck. It's the direct result of 3 very specific digital blind spots that are holding these massive operations back. Let's break down exactly what they are.
Okay, the first and biggest one is just a fundamental lack of visibility. It's that classic business saying, right? You can't manage what you can't see. And right now, in most factories, there's a huge disconnect between the physical world on the floor and the digital systems trying to keep track of it all.
So what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, it means the entire flow of materials is a complete black box. You have no idea where anything is. Forklifts and other expensive gear, they're either sitting idle somewhere or they've just vanished. Inventory tracking basically comes down to guesswork and someone's memory. And the worst part, production lines grind to a halt because people are running around, wasting precious time, literally just looking for things.
And, this lack of visibility leads directly to our second blind spot, a total lack of control. I mean, think about it. How can you possibly control a process you can't even see?
This lack of control just breeds chaos. Warehouses get totally gridlocked, becoming these huge bottlenecks. Really expensive, high-value tools just seem to mysteriously disappear. The communication between the warehouse and the production line completely breaks down. And it's not just inefficient, it can be downright dangerous. How can you enforce safety rules if you have no idea where your vehicles or people are?
The third and final blind spot is a lack of connectivity. So even when factories do have some data, it's often trapped in these different systems, these digital silos that don't talk to each other at all.
And what's the result of that? Well, huge, critical decisions get made based on a manager's gut feeling instead of on hard data. The flow of information is completely broken. And it becomes impossible to answer really important questions like, hey, are we sending our forklifts on the most efficient path? You're basically flying blind.
Okay, so those are the problems. And they're big ones, for sure. But what if the solution was surprisingly simple? What if you could have an indoor GPS for literally everything in your factory?
This is where a technology called the Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT, comes into play. Now, it sounds complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. It's like giving your factory a nervous system. It creates a real-time digital mirror, a digital twin of your entire operation, so you can see and manage everything as it happens.
And here's the crazy part. This whole powerful system runs on just 2 incredibly simple devices. On the left, you've got the listener, a smart gateway you just stick on the ceiling. And on the right, you have the voice, this tiny little Bluetooth tag that you can attach to, well, anything you want to track.
So how in the world does it all work? It's really just a simple 3-step process that beautifully connects the physical world to the digital one.
First up is perception. The tiny voice tags you've stuck on everything are constantly broadcasting their unique ID signal. Second, the network. Those listener gateways up on the ceiling hear those signals and relay the data. And finally, the platform. This is the central brain of the whole operation. It analyzes all of those signals to pinpoint the exact location of every single tag.
So how does it know where everything is with such precision? It's not just about how strong the signal is. The gateways use some really clever tech to figure out the exact angle that the signal is coming from. By combining the data from just a few gateways, the system can triangulate the tag's location with amazing accuracy. We're talking less than a single meter.
So that's the tech. But what does it actually mean for the factory floor? How does it fix those 3 huge blind spots we talked about? Well, this is where we get to the real payoff. This is where the smart factory is truly unlocked. So what makes this approach such a game changer?
Well, first, it's incredibly precise, down to about half a meter. It's also super low cost, with tags that cost less than a cup of coffee. The batteries in these things last for more than 5 years, and each gateway can handle tens of thousands of tags at once. It's the perfect combination for a massive, complex environment like a factory.
So, let's just remember that before picture for a second. Chaos, confusion, and a whole lot of people just wandering around searching for stuff.
And this is the after. Suddenly, you have a live digital map of your entire operation. No more blind spots. You can see where every single thing is, right now, in real time. That black box we talked about, it's been completely opened up.
But it's so much more than just a cool map. All of that location data feeds into a central dashboard, giving you that complete big picture overview of your entire operation. No more guesswork. Now you have the hard data you need to make genuinely smart decisions. That lack of control and connectivity? Problem solved.
Let's look at how this transforms just a single process. Take a pallet of goods. Before, its journey was a total mystery. Now you can track it every single step of the way, from the production line into the warehouse and all the way to the shipping dock. The entire process is visible, it's manageable, and it's just waiting to be optimized.
So what's the big takeaway here? We've seen how this tech can totally revolutionize a factory. But let's just zoom out. What if we could apply this same idea to any complex environment? What could we really achieve if nothing important ever got lost again?